Good morning. Good morning. Welcome or welcome back to Bookeemonsters. My name is PK. It is Wednesday, October the 30th, and we are here to look at the new releases that have been published this week. On Wednesdays, we look at romance. There's not a whole lot today. I don't know. It's sort of the anti-love week or something. But we'll look at what is there, and then we'll look at some more cozy mysteries. So at least we'll have some new books to look at. Hope you're having a good day. Quick announcements. I don't have any sprints tonight. I don't do them on Wednesday night. We will have them next on tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern. Yes, Halloween night. And they go for 2.5 hours. I do those 3 times a week. I do them every Tuesday and Thursday evenings and Saturday afternoons at 3 p.m. That one goes for 5 hours. So let's look at the romance that is there. Actually, let's switch it up this way. All right. Perfect Fit by Claire Gilmore. Josephine Davis has spent her entire 20s building Revenant, a fashion brand headquartered in downtown Austin. When her biggest investor orders Josie to hire a consultant, the last person she expects to be working with is Will Grant, the twin brother of her ex-best friend. Sure, Will and Josie may have shared one mistake of a kiss during senior spring break 9 years ago, but they've never been friends. She remembers him as moody. He always thought of her as shallow. Romance isn't on the table for either of them until they blink and realize there's a reason they can't stay away from each other. But there's Will's sister to consider, whom Josie hasn't spoken with since their falling out. Not to mention, Will and Josie live 1,700 miles apart, and it's not like she has time for a boyfriend anyway when she's an overworked CEO. As Josie's burnout looms while she falls deeper and harder for Will, she contends with the fact that eventually she'll have to make a choice: stay alone to be productive or slow down to be in love. Again, I say, why can you not have both? Balance. Sleeping with the Frenemy by Natalie Kanya, third in the Vega family love stories. Leo Vega's love life has been on life support since long before the gunshot wound that put him on leave from the fire department. Now, a year after his injury, he's hoping to both return to work and fix things with Sophie, the woman he had a secret on again, off again relationship for years. Sophia Santana may be ready to mend fences with her best friend, Leo's sister. We have a theme here, but she has no plans of letting Leo back into her bed or her heart. She's charting a new path for her future, and past mistakes have no place in it. Then circumstances push Sophie and Leo into a tense roommate situation. It's almost impossible to move on when Leo is there reminding her what they had every day. With the help of Leo's mischievous grandfather, Sophie's equally devious grandmother, and an adorably sweet rescue dog, Leo's determined to get the stubborn woman of his dreams to finally see that they belong together for good this time. Mob Bride by Sabine Barclay. Good morning, Mary. Oh, better. Cold's still lingering a little bit. You can probably hear it. Hello, Emily. Hello. Hope you all are well. We're looking at love, and there's not a whole lot today, so we'll be looking at more cozies. This is fifth in the O'Rourke Brotherhood. How can you be a mob and be an O'Rourke? Family comes before all else. I'll do anything to protect them. I just didn't expect to need her to do it. But she's mine now. She makes me happy. She understands me. I'll go the ends of the earth to make her just as happy. Get in the way of that, and you'll wish you hadn't. That sounds like love. Talk Wicked to Me, Baz Wicked. Sixth in the Wicked's Dark Nights at Bayside series. Oh, and they list all the tropes. You don't even need to read the book. Between expanding his veterinary practice, he's a veterinarian, okay, commitments with his motorcycle club, and international travel plans, Maz Wicked has little time for anything else. Really, you're going to go to Dr. Wicked with your dog? No. When a beautiful, frantic, pregnant woman barges into his office for help with her dog, he senses something is off, and he's drawn to her in ways he shouldn't be. But now he can't get Emerson Lockhart out of his head. Having a baby wasn't in Emerson's plans, but neither was tragically losing her parents more than a decade ago when she was only a teenager. After all she's been through, leaving the chaos of New York City and moving to the peaceful small town of Bayside while on the cusp of giving birth was a piece of cake. She's used to handling things on her own, but when an unexpected emergency brings the charming vet who makes her remember she's more than a mother to be back into her life, she's grateful for his help but wary of his friendship. Emerson knows how quickly the people she cares about can be stolen away, and she never wants to experience that devastation again. But the fiercely loyal, protective biker isn't easily dissuaded. Passion ignites and affections run deep, but when their paths collide and Baz's demons are revealed, will it douse their flames, or can true love prevail? Everything and the kitchen sink in there. Too bad it's not set at Christmas, and then we'd have like everything. And number one, The Paris Escape by James Tucker. Now, this isn't necessarily romance, it's more women's fiction, but I had to fill out the listings here somehow. When Laura Powell and Henry Salter traveled to Paris in 1938, neither considers the other very good company. Laura is a shallow, spoiled heir to a fortune. Would that be heiress? To a fortune, and Henry an opportunistic bore, or so they think. But as her father's protege, Henry is tasked with accompanying Laura for her safety, even as she continues to scorn him. Orphan stowaway David forces the pair to see eye to eye. They can ignore their growing feelings, but they can't deny the boy's need for protection. Yet, even with this tentative truce, their problems are far from over. The threat of war continues to grow until the Nazis occupy Paris, but Laura and Henry have opportunities they're not willing to lose, and a home with David means more than safety outside France. Before danger overtakes them, they'll have to decide if the life they're building can withstand what's coming, and whether they have the strength to fight for it. Another sort of women's fiction-ish one. When We Were Widows by Annette Chavez Macias. Since her husband's death 6 months ago, Jessica Diaz-Taylor seems to be taking her grief in stride. Then an angry outburst at work shatters the illusion. Her mandated support group counseling doesn't help much. Jessica has always kept her feelings close, so even when an unlikely friendship blossoms with the group's facilitator, she still has reasons for holding back. She's just not ready to share. Ana Diaz has been widowed for 5 years and continues to live life exactly as she did with her late husband. When her house floods, she's forced to shake things up. Although it was never part of her plan, Anna moves in with her eldest daughter, Jessica. But the new living arrangements test their already strained relationship. Shadows by unresolved tensions, Jessica, Anna, and matriarch Mama Melda must learn to share a home, their heartbreak, and once and for all, the haunting family secrets that have kept them apart. And really, that is all we have for romance. Like I say, maybe there's just no love during Halloween. However, we will continue with our cozies. Off to volunteer this morning at the library. Ooh, filling in for another volunteer can't make it. Looking forward to it. Absolutely. Hope you have a good day looking all the books. Alrighty, I think we were at Faded Familiar. Whoa, back. I remember the Samuel Pepys one. Yes, I don't remember us talking about this one. Sorry, I'm most stuffy in the morning. Faded Familiar by Danielle Garrett, 13th in the Nine Lives Magic. When Aunt Lavender claims she's found the location of the lost city of Atlantis, I agree to join her quest, a decision I quickly come to regret when we end up magically shipwrecked on a mysterious island. Even worse, it's inhabited by a secret sisterhood of witches who make us feel about as welcome as a swarm of mosquitoes at a garden party. It turns out the lack of hospitality is the least of our problems when one member is found poisoned. Between dodging a grumpy sea serpent and dealing with Salim's running commentary, we need to uncover the truth about Atlantis and catch a would-be killer, assuming we want to make it back to Winterspell alive. Bodies and Bridezilla. Book 2 in the Corpse Collector Cozy Mystery Series by Tammy Tyree and Chloe Hale. Kerrigan Crit, funeral director and reluctant ghost whisperer, thought her hands were full managing Castle Point's most notorious funeral home. But when a demanding bridezilla insists on her help, Kerrigan plunges into a wedding planning nightmare, complete with a missing groom, a murder to solve, and more family drama than anyone should endure. The picturesque coastal town of Castle Point, Maine is abuzz with excitement as socialite Gabriella Sinclair's wedding approaches. But when her fiance, Laurie, vanishes on the eve of the big day, the worst is feared until Kerrigan encounters Lowry's ghost, desperate for justice. With her best friends, Trixie and Radley, by her side, Kerrigan begins an investigation that uncovers dark secrets, hidden motives, and a tangled web of lies among the bridal party. As the body count rises and the suspect list narrows, Kerrigan must navigate a world of extravagant events, bitter rivalries, and deadly secrets. But when a second body turns up, Kerrigan realizes she's racing against time to prevent another murder. With the help of her spectral clients and the living residents of Castle Point, Kerrigan must solve the mystery before the killer strikes again. But can she unravel the truth before her own life and those of her friends are put in grave danger? I wish they didn't have that cartoony cover, though. I don't like cartoony covers. Makes it look like it's a middle grade kind of story. But that might just be me. Pitifully slim. Indeed. I don't know. Just didn't try very hard, did they? Next in New Orleans, a Frost and Crow mystery, fourth in that series by Kristen Painter. When an old friend reaches out to Sinclair Crow, he and his wife, Jane Frost, head to New Orleans for what they think will be a simple visit before they finally make the journey back to the North Pole. They're looking forward to some fun and great food. But things in the Big Easy are about to get downright difficult when a sudden death and shocking incident threatens Sinclair's friend's reputation. It's pretty obvious things are not as they seem, but digging deeper means putting themselves in danger. Can Jane and Sinclair find justice for all those involved without getting nixed in New Orleans? Charmed Cookies by Cindy Stark, 12th in the Cookie Corner Paranormal Cozy Mysteries. As crisp autumn air settles over Honeysuckle Springs, witch Evie St. Clair, what is it with St. Clair today? Should be focused on her upcoming wedding to the town's charming police chief, Caden Bexley. But with Samhain approaching and the veil between worlds growing thin, the town's supernatural energy is stirring and trouble is brewing. When coven members gather to honor the goddess Trivia, they sense an ominous presence lurking in the woods. Their fears are realized when teenager Lila Rosewood vanishes under mysterious circumstances, making the eerie legend of the Wild Hunt myth feel all too real. As the clock ticks down to Samhain and her wedding gown grows nearer, Evie must determine if Lila's disappearance is more than just a case of rebellious runaway. With her familiar kitten Cookie by her side, Evie treads the delicate line between the magical and mortal realms, working alongside Caden to solve the mystery. But when long-buried secrets resurface, including the truth behind her Aunt Bertie's magical transformation, Evie's dreams of a peaceful wedding begin to unravel. Can she uncover what really happened to Lila before the Wild Hunt claims another victim? Or will the encroaching darkness of Samhain put everything and everyone she loves at risk? Note: does not contain gore or adult situations. Bayou Biscuits and Black Magic. Don't like the cover at all. Would never have picked up that book to even consider reading. Indeed, somebody in marketing needs to figure out what they're doing. This is by Corinne Winters, 6 in the Cozy New Orleans series. Baking magic has never been so delicious or deadly. Amateur witch, can you be an amateur witch? And baker Daisy Wallace has always supported the other bakers in her community, but the same can't be said for the beignet queen, Daisy's friend Julia. When Daisy finds Julia cold in her own kitchen, Daisy knows she must rise to the occasion and solve this half-baked homicide. With her snarky, feline familiar Motley as her sous chef in sleuthing, Daisy is determined to uncover every last clue. But with so many people envious of Julia's beignets, the suspect list is more layered than a cake. Can Daisy sift through the clues and catch the killer before she becomes the next victim? Or will her efforts to bring justice for Julia only land her in hot water? End of that row. Blissful Magic, Lisa Jones Cozy Mystery by Sarah Isabel. There are 4 books in this series. This is a novella. Lisa Jones is about to face her spookiest case yet. As autumn leaves dance and jack-o'-lanterns grin, her business partner Sam Kobe is launching the town's first ever Haunted Harvest Festival. But when things start going bump in the night and day, at the Stitchery, the fiber art shop owned by mystic goddess Elva McDowell, it's clear this haunting is a part of the planned festivities. Armed with determination and a knack for unraveling mysteries faster than a mummy's bandages, Lisa and Sam dive headfirst into the ghostly goings-on. With ghostly dad Jimmy and furry sidekicks Trouble and Stevie providing moral support, Lisa and Sam are determined to get to the bottom of this supernatural mischief. As they investigate, they need all the help they can get. Cue Aunt Maybe's unconventional wisdom, and a town full of colorful characters more than happy to lend a hand, or a spatula, or a crystal ball. But beware of Mrs. Abernathy, the judgmental city council member whose opposition to the festival and knack for stirring up trouble rival any supernatural mischief Bliss has ever seen. This one's here, but it doesn't have a cover. What is this? Still doesn't have a cover. A book with no cover. Moral Mayhem. It's only in paperback and temporarily out of stock. And it has no cover. Well, they don't want you to have this book at all. That's all we got, guys. Rise to the occasion. Yeah. They like their puns. That they do. Well, tomorrow will be fantasy and science fiction. Hopefully there's some better options there. With the couple minutes we have left, I can quickly show you what I'm reading. I'm reading first in a 2-book series so far, featuring Georgia O'Keeffe as the sleuth, Light on Bone by Catherine Lasky. This is my scavenger hunt pick for November. That is orange and brown on the cover. It's interesting. When I was much younger, I read a lot about Georgia O'Keeffe. I usually don't like books that have real people as the sleuths, but I'm not minding this as much. But the strange thing is, the author doesn't do dialogue well. It's very clunky, very awkward. But when she's in George's thoughts and talking about the desert landscape and all that, it's very nice to read, but strange. And I got a library hold, Eric Idle's book, The Spamalot Diaries, of putting Monty Python and the Holy Grail into the musical Spamalot. And I'm still reading a historical mystery, Seventh in the Redmond and Hayes series, Murder on the Sea Witch. So, again, I don't have any sprints tonight. But we will have them tomorrow. I hope you guys have a good Wednesday. It is very cold here this morning. It's in the 20s, but we're supposed to be getting up to maybe 50. So we will see. Uh, Mary, hope you have a good day at the library. I would be looking at all the books instead of helping, maybe, but you're a much stronger and better person than I am. Hope to see you later on Thunder Horse Descendant. Everybody have a very good day. And as the banner says here, don't be a bookworm, be a bookie monster. Nom nom nom. Have a good day and God bless.